Hi everyone, my name is Kathy Tran. I'm one of the student staff working under the Leadership and Learning portfolio at the Center for Student Engagement. Today we would like to share with you our online leadership workshop focused on the growth mindset and personal mission statements. So today's workshop objectives, we would want to develop a growth mindset in each of you and focus on thinking positively. We also want to help guide you through creating your own personal mission statements that are focused around your personal goals and values. So today's agenda, we're going to start off with talking about what a growth mindset is, and then transition into thinking about positivity, creating your own personal mission statements, and at the end we'll do a little wrap-up. The first activity we would like to start off with is the barometer activity. So the barometer activity, we would like to read out sentences and have you take a second or two to think about whether you disagree or agree with these statements and to which extent do you agree or disagree with these statements. I'm going to read each statement out loud. Feel free to pause the video to give you some time to think about each statement. The first statement, your intelligence is something very basic about you that you can't change very much. The second statement, you can learn new things, but you can't really change how intelligent you are. Third statement, no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it quite a bit. And the last statement, you can always substantially change how intelligent you are. Please take a couple of minutes to reflect on these statements and think about whether you agree or disagree with them and to what extent. We would also like you to think about the following questions. How specific or pervasive are your reasons behind whether you agree or disagree? For instance, do you only agree in a specific situation, or do you agree in all situations? How temporary or permanent are your reasons? For instance, do you think they're just for this one situation and only for this one time, or do you think like this all the time? Some people think that it is possible, for example, to get smarter if you're given the right opportunities and support, and if you try hard enough, and if you believe you can do it. However, other people may think that you can learn skills, but your capacity to learn skills, your talent, cannot be trained. The problem with holding this mindset is that no road is without bumps. Eventually, you're going to hit one and it will become a liability, when a C- or a rejection letter will derail you. You're likely to interpret these setbacks as evidence that, after all, you don't have the right stuff and you're not good enough, while other people believe that you can learn to do better. Now I'm going to play a quick video after you've spent some time thinking about these statements and the way that you approach these situations.
Researcher and professor Carol Dweck uses the term mindset to describe the way people think about ability and talent. Dweck delineates between two different mindsets that exist on a continuum. The first is the fixed mindset, which suggests that your abilities are innate and unchangeable. The second is a growth mindset, which views it as something you can improve through practice. In a fixed mindset, you view failure as permanent, but with a growth mindset, you see failure as a chance to learn and even pivot. Those with a fixed mindset are more likely to view critical feedback as a personal attack, while those with a growth mindset will see it as a chance to improve, where they can develop new systems. With a fixed mindset, you're more likely to choose easier tasks and put in minimal effort. After all, if talent is fixed, why bother improving? Why even try? But with the growth mindset, you're more likely to embrace challenging tasks and work hard to improve. Those with a fixed mindset are likely to give up when they face an obstacle. Meanwhile, those with a growth mindset will view obstacles as a chance to experiment and solve problems. In a fixed mindset, the focus is on measurable accomplishments. But with a growth mindset, the focus is more on a journey of continual improvement. With a fixed mindset, you're less likely to take creative risks. But with a growth mindset, creative risks are simply a way to innovate and improve. Ultimately, your mindset influences everything from creative risk-taking to how you view feedback to whether or not you finish difficult tasks. And in the end, it's one of the greatest factors in determining whether or not you grow and improve in your abilities.
Alright, so as covered in the video, a fixed mindset typically approaches situations with a pessimistic view on things. Whenever you face adversity, you often give up on challenges and even try to avoid facing them in the first place. You don't see them as opportunities for growth, but you rather see them as problems that are getting in your way. Those of you who have a growth mindset will have more optimistic ways of explaining adversity. What this means is that you persevere and actively seek out challenges that will ultimately make you even stronger. Any adversity that you face, you view them as opportunities for growth, for you to learn, and for you to become better. Now we would like to do a little more of a growth mindset activity where we want you to take a look at all of these statements. I'll read each one out loud, but essentially we want you to think about how you can change these statements from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. The first statement, I can't do it. You may pause the video to take a couple of seconds to think about how you would twist the statement so that it expresses more of a growth mindset. The second statement, I'm not good at this. The third statement, I'm a natural. The fourth statement, it's good enough. And the fifth statement, I'm only taking this course because I have to. We hope that by looking at these statements and how you can change them to express a growth mindset, you can start to rethink how you approach things and take a more positive spin on things. Now that we've started talking about developing a fixed or a growth mindset, we want you to take a positive spin on things that we refer to as failures as well. So to start off this activity, we want you to pause the video to take a couple of minutes just to think about what is failure and what does failure mean to you. Now that you've come up with your own definition of failure, we would like you to create a document called a failure resume. A failure resume is a twist on a regular resume which highlights your successes. Instead, this time we want you to take a look at your failures. We want you to keep track of your failures and help you with constructive reflection. It's always important to think about things that we may have failed on in the past and learn from these mistakes so that you can achieve more in the future. Here we have an exemplar of a failure resume, so you can take a look at what things you can put on your failure resume. Now we would like you to take out a piece of paper and create your own failure resumes. What we would like you to do is to identify the biggest failures in 3 realms of your life: your academic life, professional life, and your personal life. We want you to take a look at each opportunity and think about the following things. Why did you fail in that situation? Describe what you learned from each situation and look at what you can do in the future in order to avoid failing again. You may pause the video to take a couple of minutes to finish your failure resume. We want you to think about how failures are important to reflect on. A common interview question is to identify a failure you have faced and explain how you overcame it. Failure is often viewed as a learning opportunity, as we can only learn from our past mistakes. Now that we've talked a lot about failure, we want you to think about your sources of support. So what sources of support can help you when you need help? We want you to be able to think about all of the failures that you talked about on your failure resume and think about what types of support you would need to succeed where you have failed in the past, and what types of support would you want to have. So please take a couple of minutes, pause the video, and think about the supports that are available to you and the supports that you would want in order to avoid the failures that you have faced in the past. We would also like you to think about the importance of keeping a positive attitude. Please take a couple of seconds to reflect on this. Now that you've thought a lot about your failures, your mindset, and all of those different things, we would like to introduce you to the Personal Mission Statement Workbook. So to get through this final section of the workshop, we want you to fill out the Personal Mission Statement packages. This is an interactive document that we have included a link for you to use, and it's located in the description box below. So you may now pause the video to complete the workbook. I will be going through a brief outline of each of the steps involved in creating your personal mission statement. The goal of the personal mission statement is in order for you to identify what you value and what you hold dear to you, and identify what your personal mission statement is. What are your objectives, what are your goals, and how are you going to get there? So the steps for this package include the following. Please make sure to take a look at the package as it outlines very detailed steps, and I will only be giving you a brief overview. The first step is we want you to think about the highs and lows in your life and create a personal timeline. The second step is we want you to think about people who you find inspirational and reflect on why you think they are inspirational to you. The third step is we want you to identify the roles within your life. So what do you think people say about you, and what kind of role do you think you play in the lives of others? The fourth step is to identify your activities, your talents and capacities, and your values. The fifth step, now that you've thought about different people who inspire you, your own personal timeline, your roles, as well as your values, your talents, and your activities, we want you to create a rough draft of your personal mission statement. Consider what is important to you and use all of the things that we've discussed in order to form what your personal mission statement is. Now we want you to be more specific. Identify your start, stop, and continue steps in order to fulfill your personal mission. There are some prompting questions in the booklet that we would like you to use to evaluate your statements and edit it in order to improve it. Lastly, we want to encourage you to express your mission statement however you want. This may include visual drawings, or you can just write it out if you would like. Please pause the video now in order to complete the book. The booklet's link can be found in the description box below. Now that you've completed the workshop, we would like to inform you about follow-up chats that will be occurring. If you're watching this recording before April 15th, you'll be able to take part in a follow-up chat if you're interested in sharing your personal mission statements or thoughts about growth mindset. Please check out the description box below for the exact times and dates. We would like to thank all of you for listening to our workshop and watching our video. We hope that you all took something away from this. Thank you.